Hello language learners! I am already at my desk because today I want to talk about a language learning resource that I've kind of mentioned a few times, but I've never really gone really in depth with it, and so that's what I want to do today. Yes, this resource does have an app, but I kind of want to do it on the computer. I'm kind of sick of sitting in front of a camera like, you know, I want to make it a little bit interesting. Today I'm going to be talking about Clozemaster. It is not for beginners. You need to be somewhat comfortable in the language before Clozemaster. I'm going to get into it more, but basically it uses context that is kind of almost native level. Basically, I would recommend that you be like past Duolingo before you start using Clozemaster. You need to be at least an intermediate level. What does Clozemaster do? So Clozemaster is really great with phrases, vocab, and grammar. This is your reading skills and figuring out how to piece together words and phrases into writing. Fill in the blank practice for phrases and grammar. So one of the things that's really great about Clozemaster is it teaches you and helps you practice everything in context. Context is such a big deal, and I talked more about it in this video about context and how memorizing vocabulary and phrases without context is not the most helpful, not the most natural way to pick up new information. It's much more helpful in context, and Clozemaster is excellent about it. If you don't already know what a cloze is a fill in the blank, essentially. So you have a phrase and you have an empty space and you have to figure out what belongs in that empty space to make the phrase make sense, to make the phrase work. That way you have the context and you're using your brain a lot to make everything work. And that's what Clozemaster is. So let me give you an idea of what Clozemaster looks like. So here we have the Clozemaster opening page, and I'll be honest, it's really overwhelming at first. The app is not quite so overwhelming. It's a little bit simpler, as you know, an app has to be. Try not to get overwhelmed at first. Apologies if it is. Take it up with Clozemaster, not me. Right now I'm in the free version. You can also get the premium version, the paid version, very reasonably priced. I think it's like $8 a month at most. But right now we're gonna look at what you can get for free. First you have the most common words. And you see you have the 100 through over 50,000 most common words. And when you look at that, it looks like it's for beginners, which is, why I said at the beginning that Clozemaster is not for beginners. It's not like you're going through Duolingo and you're going he, she, dog, cat kind of thing. Let me just give you an example of what the 100 most common words are. Keep in mind that these are 100 most common words used in context, but the context is common phrases that you'll use every day. You're probably not going to use the cat runs every single day unless you're, going abroad to work at a foster care center or something like that. Let's just take a look at what this means. First thing you get is skill, vocabulary, listening, and speaking, which is awesome. Since per round 10 multiple choice, I'm going to do multiple choice just to, make it easier. Let's start with vocabulary. You see, the word is donde.
No sé a dónde voy.
You see what I mean? Like, the word itself is beginner. Yes, that is a beginner word, but that context is not what you'd see in a lot of beginner resources. It is very usable, very, 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 very usable. Absolutely a phrase that you'll say if you go to Spain or Latin America or, somewhere where people are speaking Spanish. Not a common phrase to see in beginner resources, which is great. Not to say that that's, a bad thing at all. It's absolutely a good thing. But in order to understand this phrase, to be able to figure out what it means, you're either going to have a lot of experience with another Romance language to figure out what's going on, or you're going to have a solid level of Spanish. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that no sé is I don't know, or voy means I'm going. You have to have that semblance of understanding of the language to make this work and make it not so difficult that you're struggling. Tú sabes algo. Pretty good. Pretty simple, pretty easy phrase. Nos vamos. It's like fill in the blank for grammar. This isn't, under the grammar section. But with language skills, with grammar, vocab, listening, speaking, they're not all black and white. There's going to be some meshing. There's going to be everything bleeds into each other. No estoy bien. Same thing with simple grammar.
Aquí no hay nada.
Again, this is really interesting because they're beginner words, but they're put together in a way that you wouldn't think of unless you were a native. Because I wouldn't think to put together words like that. Lo
sé.
Estaba.
Estaba muy bien.
Past tense. Again, intermediate. Past tense is definitely intermediate stuff. Estaba, because if you don't know, in Spanish, there are two forms of past tense. This could be estaba or this could be estuvo. And figuring out which one to know is, it takes some time to master. And I mean, even I don't get it all the time.
Yo no estaba solo.
Past tense, again.
Sé muy bien quién eres.
Yes.
Eso es todo.
Ta-da! Technically, those words are incredibly common and probably the most important words that you will use when you're speaking Spanish. The context that they're presented in is not beginner. It's intermediate, absolutely. So do bear that in mind. So we have the most common words. Let's talk about grammar challenges. Now, as you can see, these are all pro, like $8 a month at most. So if you really enjoy Clozemaster, I really like Clozemaster, then this is absolutely worth it. But let's look at por versus para. This is, I have a hard time with this, I'm not gonna lie. So let's see how it works. We're gonna do listening. Play 1 round of listening for free per day.
Voy a preparar un poco de ensalada de frutas para todos.
Ooh, you see, this is working my brain. As somebody who's lived in Spain, this takes me a second, so let me listen again.
Voy a preparar un poco de ensalada de frutas para todos.
Okay, para.
Voy a preparar un poco de ensalada de frutas para todos.
Notice there were 2 audio clips. The first was female, the second was male. Interesting.
Compré 2 entradas para el concierto. Compré 2 entradas para el concierto.
Like I said, this is a really excellent way of practicing your grammar in context. I really do like this. Honestly, this is something that I should be doing. I should take like a month and just really nail. I have issues with por y para. I'm getting better at them, but I'm not quite there yet. And subjunctive. Oh, the subjunctive. I really need to be using this for my Spanish. I really do. I can admit that. This is why I wanted to talk about Clozemaster, because I think it's a really invaluable resource for working on grammar and getting to know phrases.
Soy bueno para las matemáticas.
Huh.
Soy bueno para las matemáticas.
And I have never heard por y para be used in this context. Interesting.
Te estoy muy agradecido por la ayuda. Te estoy muy agradecido por la ayuda. Por favor, llame a su primer testigo.
And see, now it's taking por y para and using it por favor, which is in itself a phrase that I honestly had never thought of being a por or para thing. So that's interesting.
Por favor, llame a su primer testigo. Juro por Dios que voy a decir la verdad.
Juro por Dios, how to
Juro
say?
por Dios que voy a decir la verdad.
See, I'm telling you, these are phrases that I don't know, I've never heard them before.
Hubo que buscar un guía para el viaje.
Level 5. You like that gif? I do like Clozemaster's gifs. They're great. Like, go Jimmy, go Jimmy. So that's a nice experiment into Clozemaster and like what it can really do. I want to show you. So the first thing, if you click the link below in my description for my review of Clozemaster, the first thing I did was I tried it with Afrikaans, because I've mentioned before that Afrikaans is one of those languages that there are not a lot of resources for. Mondly is one that I use daily for Afrikaans, just, you know, basic stuff. Clozemaster is also available in Afrikaans. So let's see, I already have it here. Let's go into Afrikaans. And I was hopeful that I could use Clozemaster to up my Afrikaans, and this was before I realized that Clozemaster is not good for beginners, especially with grammar that you have no or little to no experience in, because I'm familiar with Romance grammar. Afrikaans is a Germanic language. I'm not familiar with Germanic grammar. I tried this, and let me just show you. See, okay, right here, I don't know what any of this means. A fool, I know, with a tool is, I don't know how to say still. I know that's, must be friends, policeman. It's either one of these. I guessed it. Nog still. I wish it was giving me audio though. Should. It's must. It's new. Ah. Oh, okay. I knew that one. I was thinking of my mnemonic device for should. Tom is... Where's the audio? I'm so sad that there's no audio. Can I like put audio? Is there no audio for Afrikaans? Man, there's no audio for Afrikaans. The thing with that was, yes, I got most of them right. I didn't understand most of what was going on. So I'm not sure that it would be the most productive for me learning Afrikaans. I would really need to be working on Afrikaans in other ways first before going into Clozemaster. But once getting there, I think Clozemaster would be really helpful. Let me look at French. Look, just, side note, Clozemaster has tons of languages, which is really nice. And I'm learning French. And with a free account, you can access them all. You can't access certain things, so you get articles, and then the rest you have to pay for. Let me do listening, because I need to work on my listening and roll bad in French.
Merci à vous tous.
Merci à vous tous.
Merci à vous tous.
Thanks to all of you.
Veux-tu que nous tapions? Veux-tu que nous tapions?
This is a bit more advanced, so I'm currently at the time of this video. I just hit the 3rd checkpoint in the French Duolingo tree, so if you want to get an idea of where I am in my French, I'm starting to get a little bit more complex, a little bit. Like with these sentences, I think this is just like a smidgen farther than I am. I mean, if I wanted a good challenge, if I really wanted to challenge myself, then I could probably use Clozemaster and I could probably get away with it. Wow. Never did I tell her that I loved her. Clozemaster gets serious. I remember when I was first using this, I had one question that was really serious, this one, and I don't know, sometimes Clozemaster gets a little interesting, a little deep, a little serious about the content. Never did I tell her that I loved her. Okay. I see you, Clozemaster.
Jamais je ne lui ai dit que je l'aimais.
Right now, I know all of these words like vocabularily. Vocabularily, it's a new word, okay. But like putting them together in this way is above my grammar.
J'aime ça.
J'aime ça. I like it.
J'aime ça.
I know that one.
Merci pour tout ce que vous avez fait pour nous.
Yeah, see, beginner words, the grammar is a little bit ahead of where I am. That's definitely like intermediate-esque grammar, like what I was saying with the Spanish, with the past tense. Even though it was multiple choice and it wasn't a whole lot of thinking about which past tense it was, just like being able to recognize what estaba was a little bit helpful,
Oublie-la.
Forget about her. Clozemaster keeps it real, yo. Seriously.
Michael Jackson n'est plus.
Michael Jackson n'est plus. Michael Jackson has passed away. Like, Clozemaster has no, like, what, why? It's like, Clozemaster is really unique. I do have to say that. Michael Jackson has passed away. I don't think any other resource, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, that no other resource says things like that. That like, yes, that is a sentence that is totally reasonable to say, but like, that's kind of one of those phrases that you would think if you're going to say it, you would figure out how to say it. You wouldn't see it in a language learning resource. Also, that translation is interesting. Michael Jackson is not more, is no more, is a direct translation. That's interesting. I do love Clozemaster. I do. That's Clozemaster. Clozemaster has a ton of languages available. Link below in the description of my blog post where I list out all the languages available. You can access them all with a free account, which is awesome. To access the more intense grammar lessons and stuff like that, you do have to pay, but it's very reasonably priced and I highly recommend it. I should absolutely be using Clozemaster more. I think it's a great resource, honestly. Great way to learn new phrases that you would never see anywhere else. Michael Jackson has passed away. Like, come on. Really great way to practice grammar in context, which is so important for language learning. Oh my god, so important. Really great way to cement new vocabulary into your brain. Big fan. Honestly, Clozemaster is unlike any other. The closest that I could find to Clozemaster is Anki. Anki also does the close option, but it's more like you have to hope that the Anki deck that somebody else made is really good, or you have to make it yourself. Clozemaster is only closes. Close? Class? Close. That's how you know I'm into languages. I'm trying to like take close and I'm trying to make it into an irregular plural form. That is all I have for this video. I need to stop because I'm just getting weird. Remember, you can find me every single Monday at my blog at crashculture.com and every single Wednesday and Sunday right here on YouTube. Have a wonderful day and I will see you next time.